So basically, is that the avatar, as you can see, is over sexualized, I guess.
Yeah. Like almost everything on VRChat.
Yeah. So like here's like a problem. So like we already see a lot of similar avatar like this, right, on VRChat. But the thing is, like, this one is public available in a public world. And then apparently, I'm not sure what this avatar really does. What this avatar really does, but like, if you can see on the first tweet I just sent you, there's like probably like a new version or whatever it is. But I highly doubt that it's available in a public one too. Like, like on some avatar, there's still like nipples and vaginas, right? But you cannot really see that because it's behind the clothes. You can only see it by clipping through the avatar to see what's inside, right? So at the end, it's still safe from work, but it's not safe from work inside of the avatar. But that's still okay, right? You can see a lot of avatar has that kind of feature, and people really doesn't bother because it's under the clothes, and you don't really have the ability to undress in a public avatar like this.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm not sure why though. It seems like some people has access to the undressed version or whatever, and I'm not sure if the undressed like emote or the feature is available for the public one. Maybe it's like a private one that is used by the creator or some other people, but just like a small amount of them. But apparently there is not safe on work choices for people to use on this avatar. And so people like to be talking about this, like legit, it just got blown up like yesterday, I think. And then
I mean, I just read a comment and it said, I cannot believe people are actually disturbed by this ban underwear advert billboard in the public also, etc. I mean, I can see the point from the people that say it's like, and that's the same argument that I often make. There are kids and there are rules, and if you go into an environment that someone else made and you're not the creator of VRChat, obviously, in that, or the people are not the creator of VRChat, then you gotta follow the rules. And I think nipple tapes, like you see them there, are not the same as underwear. Like, I get though. In Germany, for example, I know there's a difference with nudity in the real world now in Germany and then
really?
America.
Talk about it.
Yeah, in America, I heard that when you're in your apartment or in the car, and someone sees you through the window, that you're not allowed to be naked. In Germany, that's different. It's your property, so you can be naked. And I find that good. And for me, that's the same with like public world or like, I don't know, streaming or whatever. Do what you want. I mean, private world. But in public, there's a reason why it's banned, or why it's illegal in real life, and there's a reason why it's illegal in a game that is for people that are like 13 plus. Because nudity can be disturbing. Like, a lot of people say, oh, why are you disturbed by that? Sexuality, you shouldn't be so confronted with pornography. And this is a part of pornography. This is a pornographic fiction. You shouldn't be so confronted with it at such a young age. I can understand that people don't want to be too restricted, but I can understand both sides. But to say, oh, why are you so disturbed, is a bit ignorant by this comment, I feel.
I'm not sure. I mean, to be honest though, from my perspective, I really don't really know about like what this avatar really does, because it really that's like the point. Because like a lot of avatar out there is it's just like this. I would say, I'm not gonna fucking lie. Like, there's a lot of fucking avatar publicly available. It just looks like this one. And
yes,
why people just bother because of like just particular this one? You know, I don't really understand this point. But I'm thinking it's probably because you can see like the ring, you know, the nipples ring, you know, maybe that's a reason, but it still doesn't really make sense. But however, the argument on you can be like doing whatever you want on your private property or whatever, right? Property, right? Like, that being said, actually, that's an interesting argument because so that being said, public lobby on VRChat is like public in real life, right? Like public ones working around, and then private lobbies, right? Such as like private or Friends Plus, they are supposed to be, you know, within your property, you know, like something that is enclosed and then more secure. So that being said, if you go to visit your friend and then you like go visit your friend's house and then you see he's naked.
Yeah.
That's that like technically against the law because like in America, like if people can see you, that's too kind of like public or whatever, blah blah blah.
Oh, here it's not. If I'm naked and my friends come over, it's wrong timing, guys.
Yeah, it's wrong timing, but it's technically like okay, like in under German laws, right?
Yeah. You can be naked. Yeah. I can be naked in my car.
Yeah, even in the car. Let's say take it to like a more extreme environment situation. Let's say Private World and Friends Plus are in a car, like in your car in the real life. And then so that being said, you're in your car and then people see you in your car and then you being naked in your car. Does that okay or does that not okay? Like you're trying to
I think
applies this VRChat thingy to the real life situation. Is that okay or is this not? Like this maybe that's like why people get like so tilted or whatever.
I mean, legally it's okay. If it's socially acceptable, that's on my friends and myself. That depends. But yeah, I was so I hang out with a lot of people, and in our group are younger people that are even 16 and 17, and then there are people that are in their mid-20s, and usually we have a really healthy relationship to each other. We're just all a bunch of nerds. And so one of our friends always throws huge parties because they rent a house with 5 people together. So they have like a big location. And my underage friend asked if she could come by because like even though it's illegal to have like minors there when you drink, we don't care so much when it's private, you know. And we make sure that our friends don't get completely wasted. I mean, some people are shit, but you gotta work with that. But yeah, so she asked, hey, when is a party and can I come by? And then my friend said, about that, it's like a naked party, so no one wears clothes on this party. It's like the theme. So he said he would prefer her to like have her not there because that could really be a legal issue. And I guess it's the same for VRChat. You yourself in that case have the responsibility for your younger friends. The law will not. Like, I don't think any VRChat mods will come and be like, you had an underage person at your private world where you were naked. But same for, they're all naked, and my underage friend would go there. Probably no one would call the police. No one would know she would be underage. But my friend said, hey, for me, that's uncomfortable to have an underage person there. So please come to the next party. And I guess in VRChat, I would say the same. If you want to have your naked avatar, maybe think about, do you want to have your 16-year-old friend there, or would you be like, hey, today we have some stripper party in VRChat? Would be better if you would be not there.
True. That's actually a really interesting perspective too, because we do know like Friends Plus or private lobbies or mostly I would say it's still wholesome, but at some point there will be unwholesome things happen, and true, that's the age will be a big problem. But at the same time, like VRChat is not if you don't know, VRChat is not rated yet. It's like the game.
Oh, it's not rated.
It's not. I checked it out today. I was at first was thinking about like it's like PG-13, right? And well, it turns out like it's not even rated on the ESRN, whatever that fucking rating system is. It's just no rating on VRChat yet.
To be honest, I think, and this might be hard for international, but for Europeans, or at least for Germans, I don't know how it's for whole Europe, I think it should be PG-16, and for Americans it should be probably like 18, or I mean, for you guys it should probably be 21 because everyone is drunk. But no, so you can start drinking with 16 in Germany. So I would say, hey, everyone that's 16, come there, because first of all, legal age here is 14, like age of consent.
True.
So it's not like that.
Yeah, the
age of consent is a hard thing, but yeah, you're allowed by law to have sexual contact with other people when you're 14. So I guess seeing these things
should be,
like is okay in my mind. When you're that age, you have to have the control over yourself. When you're 14, you have to decide, and you can drink beer with 16.
in your place, yes.
Yeah, so for us, out of my perspective, I would say that game should be for 16 because everyone is drunk, and that's also a problem because people get confronted with a lot of people drinking and a culture that is so welcoming to alcohol. So talking about only nudity, why is no one saying anything about the alcohol? I think the game should get a good rating. I don't think they should say we ban all nudity and we don't want you to get drunk. I think that's
True.
No one will play
That's actually interesting. Yeah. That's actually really.
Or there should be worlds that are rated, and there's worlds like on Pornhub, right? You're on the internet, you're on YouTube, you're 16, you're totally allowed to be on YouTube, watch your videos, and then you go on Pornhub. So you're legally not allowed to be on Pornhub. And it could be the same thing in VRChat, so that they can be legally assured, like, are you 18? And if you click yes, it's your responsibility or your parents' responsibility.
True.
But that would maybe be good to make places for 18 plus and for 16 plus and for minor, like really minor.
I mean, this game was originally about like young people, to be honest, like how it is like advertised and everything. This actually brings up the Lacan's argument. Lacan's argument, it was talking about like it's mostly the system named ESRB, never mind. But anyway, so Lacan's argument was really interesting. It was mostly about like the avatar, the world, they are all like user content. They are user generated content, you know. So it's not the game fault if there's something like nudity happen in the lobby or someone is doing unwholesome thing, because those are like user generated content. They are not what the game is designed for. You know, there's like, for example, like you're playing again, let's say you're playing some type of like MMORPG. Maybe you're playing like fucking RuneScape, alright? And maybe you're playing RuneScape, and then you decide to find yourself like a little gal and they have a good night or whatever. That's your problem. That's the player's problem that they generate such content, but not the game itself. You know, the game does not supposed to generate such content to make you feel uncomfortable, or should I say feel unwholesome. And same thing to VRChat too. It's mostly the players who do it, and avatar and awards and everything. The little VRChat dev is really interfacing this. Like they are mostly creating some default avatar and default just that. VRChat is mostly about like user generated content, to be honest. So
okay, I don't know how that is legally, because if they would really like, if there's something like the swastika, which is illegal, at least in Germany it is, if I make that in VRChat, would the game be held accountable, or only me as a creator, or even the person that is wearing it? That's the question. Sorry, I got some water.
That doesn't sound like water at all.
No, it's sad, shitty bottles, because everyone is buying. The stores empty because of Corona. Germany's going crazy.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah, the stores are empty.
Wow.
Sorry.
That is a huge like. Wow. Okay, because like in the United States here, no one really cares about it like that much anymore. interesting, to be honest. But anyway.
Yeah, it's okay. Back to VRChat.
VRChat, yeah. I mean, we probably should talk about this a little bit later on, but now for now we're talking about VRChat. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how it's legally, because I guess as a game you have to make sure that these things are not spreading. You don't want to be a platform like okay, but Instagram and Twitter, etc. They ban sexual content, hate speech, etc. because of their advertisers. So I guess they're legally really not charged for the content. Yeah. So I guess it's really just advertisement. And VRChat, I don't know if they have interest in advertisement like social media does. And everyone who knows me knows I have a huge problem with social media banning a lot of pornography or nudity. Actually, not pornography, but nudity.
Yes. Actually, this also reminds me of another topic. Just a couple weeks ago. Do you know the what's that called? Chatterbait? The fucking melody. You know.
Chatterbait?
Like, let me put it up for you. Chatterbait.
Oh no! What are you sending me now?
Let me. Like
stupid bottles. I feel like a baby drinking out of this.
This guy. Oh yeah. Oh, it's on Vice now. Oh shit. Oh no, it's on Vice now. This girl. You must be familiar with this.
Oh.
Right? No, right? No, right? No.
No, tell me.
Yo, dude. So basically, what happened is just a couple weeks ago, less than a month. There's a website named Chatterbait. It's basically like it's like a porn site, streaming porn site. So you go on there and then you see people like jerk off. I guess I don't think there's any like actual sex content, but just like say jerking off, whatever.
Like Omegle.
That's not what Omego's all about, but I guess no. There's only one webcam, and then there's like mostly one, or maybe sometimes two, but it's more like Yuri content, whatever. That being said, so Project Melody, which is this gal right here, her content is so different that she's just mainly used this avatar. You know, this avatar, the picture just showing right here. Use this avatar, and then and then she's using, what's that called? What's that Love Ends stuff? What's that Love Ends product? Fuck, I don't remember.
I'm not the expert with that here.
So it's basically okay. It's a Love Ends product named Lush. Yes, Lush is basically something you put into your vagina is a vibrator. That being said, and then basically in Chatterbait you can donate. You donate and then you get control the Lush by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, whatever. That's basically the premise of the stream on Chatterbait for Project Melody. But one thing about Project Melody is that she's the only one who used the anime avatar as her content on Chatterbait, and it got blown up. A couple weeks ago. The fucking stream became the top one on the website. There are so many different porn stuff and porn content, but her shit got blown up and then became the first one, like the top this one on the website. And then she earned like fucking thousands within like a couple nights. I think just one night. So many fucking crazy nerds like spending money on her. Trust me. It was crazy. Yeah, it was so crazy. And then that being said, why I bring this up is because, as you can see, is kind of related to VRChat because all the anime content and then people being anime girl and then moving around, right?
Yeah.
According to Laycon, the environment she's using or the engine she's using is not really VRChat. It's more like some type of webcam tracking, you know, and Unity as the projector or whatever to create the environment rather than using the VRChat in full body. But the thing is, one of my friends was talking about like this can be like a bad impact on VRChat community because people will be thinking about like Project Melody is using VRChat as like the platform to create her content
visibly, and it draws lines there.
And then VRChat so far doesn't earn a shit, but only gets sponsored by like a couple company. I think HTC is one of them. I'm not sure. And then my friend was arguing that Project Melody can have a bad impact on VRChat. That VRChat would like to have like a better appearance to its sponsor, so VRChat probably will ban like nudity or not safe from work avatar or whatever on VRChat because of this. Well, what it turns out is that Project Melody didn't do jack shit to VRChat. First, I think is because like it's not VRChat, and second over is probably because it was like 5 minutes hit, you know, like just like man, people just like, oh, okay, we move on, and then nothing that much. But
it's gone again. That's okay. I mean, hentai is an old shoe, we would say. So
I mean,
anime porn is there since forever, so I guess it's not like, oh wow, first digital character porn. It's not even that. But it's just
talking about VRChat, like the wholesome game.
Yeah.
That would be like a different story. There's also like what I was talking to my friend who told me about the whole nudity VRChat public avatar thingy. I was talking to him earlier today. I was like, probably this thing will get blown over like pretty soon, because you know how people handle the Project Melody's incidents, like just suddenly disappeared and no one really give a fuck, and we're probably just back to normal again. But it is a fucking hot topic, and I don't know why people care about this so much, to be honest. To me though, like you know, from the first tweet, I would say I totally agree that nudity is like nothing comparing to like other contents on VRChat, like KKK avatars, like Hitler or like swastika or whatever. There are so many, just like you say too, like there's so many other stuff, but like why people give a fuck about like the nudity first, you know, like drinking, right? That's actually like if shit gonna happen, I would say if shit gonna happen, then shit gonna happen, and then VRChat will be really wholesome, and then talking about OH wholesome. But if shit not gonna happen, then everything just getting back to normal. You can have your nudity, and people at the same time can say can get like racist stuff or KKK episode or whatever. That should be there. So I guess it's like no balance between them. There's only like one extreme. You can only be none, or you just only be like all of them together. So,
and I mean, I don't want people to think that like KKK content or something and sexual content is the same. There's still what's so beautiful about VRChat is that I feel like people are getting like, or especially the guys I talk to, experiencing a side of being and sexuality that they couldn't experience in real life. A lot of them like a more softer side, a more slutty side, and I think that gives a lot of insight on how girls live their life. I mean, it's the first time that I see guys getting treated like girls, even though in a lot of places nowadays, like in a lot of countries, we get treated almost the same. And I can probably say that I live in a country where women and men have a really good standard. There's some flaws, but it's nothing too big for me, at least. But I find it really nice to hear the problems from guys that otherwise I only experienced as a woman, and I always heard guys say, oh, why are you bothered by it? Like catcalling. Why are you bothered by it? Obviously in VRChat, the biggest factor of why catcalling is creepy is not there. And catcalling is really creepy because you feel unsafe depending on who does it. But if a group of men does it, you're not sure if they will follow you or not. You know the attention is there, and that can make you uneasy, especially if it's at night or if you're only alone. And that's the biggest problem with catcalling, I think, that a lot of people don't address. And then it's like, oh, but why don't you like it when you get attention? And VRChat at least gives an inside view of that, and I think it's something really good. And I also think that nudity is something really important for adult people. But and me as a teenager, I actually read a lot about sexuality. Now that I'm older, I think it's really a topic that's better for older people. There is things you should learn as a teenager. Obviously, how it works, how you don't get pregnant, that you can get pregnant, that you can get someone pregnant, what that all costs, etc., etc. Your responsibilities with sexuality, you should learn as a teenager. That's really important. And also that it's there, because your body has a sexuality sooner than society allows you to have one, especially looking at America. I can't imagine being 16 and not really in my age of consent. It feels really weird. It would feel really weird to me, at least. So I think nudity is important, and I wish for VRChat it would keep it. I find it really sad to see it disappear from social media. It's a topic we should talk about and we shouldn't ignore. And I wish there would be more space for nudity that is not necessarily connected to porn. I mean, stripping and burlesque and everything, it's not the same as two people sleeping with each other. I mean, look at burlesque and the women that do it. Oftentimes for them it's art and a kind of expression in art. It's the same hentai artists. Are they prostituting themselves for money, even though they're just drawing? But like, are they prostituting their fantasies, or is it an art form? It's I mean, however you see it, it's something where people come together. And they experience their own sexuality, and that's important. If we don't have sexuality, and if you're not asexual or aromantic or anything like that, if you're a human being that needs sexuality, you should be allowed to have it, because it can make really frustrated, and it can lead to so much anger in people. It's really important that it's there. But social media right now is acting like the church and putting a ban on all nudity. But I'm sorry, but a Japanese girl in her bikini posing is not the same as seeing two people having literal sex on Twitter. Yeah, that's maybe a bit too much, but I'm an artist. I have to look at naked people, or at least people in underwear, to understand. I mean, I can ask my friends, but that's also a bit awkward, and it changes your relationship. You can look in the mirror, sure, but what's better than the internet to get something without cost? Because in real life, obviously, you could get models, but they're expensive. I don't have that money. I go on the internet, I can see people with darker skin color, Asian people, white people, tall people, small people. They all have different shapes. We're all human. We have a basic shape, but I can't deny that, yes, where you come from and obviously who made you, that has a major impact on how you were built. There's a difference from a white person to another white person. There's a difference from an Asian person to a black person. Like a lot of face structure, but sometimes also body. Like Asian people are typically more small. Obviously, there's also tall Asians, but it's interesting to look at. No, but I don't want to sound racist. That's a point.
I gotcha.
But I don't want to go on the streets and be like, hey, I want you because you have that and that skin color and I have never drawn that. Like, you know, I want to go on the internet and not even ask for it. I just find these people and I just follow them, or I just browse and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. And it's also for learning. And I don't feel sexuality when I look at an Asian girl in a bikini or something. Like, Asian girl is, I follow more on the cosplayer side. And a lot of them are from Japan, so that's why I say Asian. I just have that in my mind. I don't know. Nudity is so important, and we shouldn't put a ban for it. But yeah, the regulation is important.
Regulation.
There should be more places that for that.
It's like there should be like two side, like two options on social media, you know, like for example like Twitter. If like there will be like on Twitter you gotta be 18 at least to use Twitter. Like there's actually a birthday check and a restriction on the restriction.
But to visit the site, do you need an account to visit the site?
I don't think you need an account, but if you want to have an account, you need to be 18. But that's one thing. But like what I'm saying is like they should allow like just everyone to use it, but at the same time there should be like different content. Like if the thing that you're gonna post is not suitable for all age, there should be an option for you to hide it from the other group of people, you know. So that so at the same time you can satisfy the old, like younger people, but at the same time you can also make sure that everyone has their own needs fulfilled, you know, like for example finding art material, whatever. So there should be a balance, not just like blocking everything. I think same thing with VRChat. If they really want to make like regulate this thing, to be honest, there should be like a check or some kind of like user agreement or whatever, you know, to just click OK and then sure you got everything. But if you like don't consent, if you lied about this or you whatever, then that's your fucking problem. Like
it's on you. Yeah,
it's on you and your parents' problem, not us. So yeah, there should be some kind of like option for you to do so. And
because people get pushed to go on Pornhub at this point sometimes. Like, I mean, for me, where am I gonna find material like that? I know if I Google these things, I either get porn or stock images. Stock images are horrible. They're not real people. They're models. They're not like a person really posing on their own for the camera. Obviously, when I see someone posing for the camera, it's also not like it's in real life, but someone thought that for themselves, you know, they're like, oh, this is my nice angle. So that tells me something about their personality. What do they like to reveal and what do they like to hide? A model is simply most of the time told what to do, or they're just like, yeah, it's my job. I just turn whatever. My whole body is just my job. There is a difference between a dumb stock image and like really a person that wants to please their followers. And I feel like just dividing between black and white, so between porn and not porn, it's wrong, because there's so many things that the internet sees as pornographic. That's just not. There's also a difference between nipple tapes and underwear for me, because nipple tapes, I'm sorry, I don't wear nipple tapes every day. That's a fetish thing. Like that's a sexuality thing. And sure, for some people it might be harmless. I mean, for me it's rather harmless too. I've seen the things, but the person saying that it's the same than a bra, that's not even a bra is the same as a bra. If I wear a certain bra, that obviously like would give a different signal to my boy or girlfriend than I would wear, I don't know. You know, there's different styles.
It's context. It's
communication. Yeah, it's like our clothing is communication, and a tape is not really a piece of cloth. I mean, a sports bra. Would you say a sports bra is the same as a nipple tape?
Oh.
Obviously not.
I mean,
or a bikini.
True.
It's different to see someone in a bikini on a beach than in underwear in the city. It's the place. It's the place and the time where you wear the things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's a difference, because you wear a bikini on the beach because you want to go in the water, right? Everyone understands you don't want to be covered in cloth to go into water.
Hey, hold on. So that's like in real life, of course, there's like context, right?
Yeah.
But like in social media, there's just if social media is aka like let's say is out of it's like a virtual reality, right? Like social media is like virtual real life. That doesn't make sense, but anyway. So like then how we determine the context, like if Twitter is still Twitter, then how can we determine like the takes picture with like nipple tapes are suitable in this context when this bikini picture on the Twitter is okay? Like how do we determine that in your opinion? Because like to me, I like it's kind of weird because social media doesn't really have that kind of section of it, that doesn't really give you the context or background of it.
I mean, I would say, so if you want to generalize it, because obviously not every blog will be looked at. Like, we look at a blog, we see an Instagram girl in a bikini, and we see a porn model in a bikini. We know the difference, a butt doesn't. But if you want to generalize it, then at least generalize it more than just two categories. Maybe really put like, okay, there's nudity that's appropriate for this and that age, and there's sex and that's appropriate for this and that age. I mean, on American TV, you guys must also see people in bikinis. So I guess because the internet is pretty American. For German, it really makes no sense to block certain content. But for Americans, okay. Like nipples, we see nipples on TV. I think you guys don't. We also have porn on TV. We also have porn commercials on TV after a certain time, like after midnight. Because kids aren't awake at midnight. Yeah. Uh-huh. And for the internet, I would say the same thing. Do you really want to ban bikinis until you're 18, or like for everyone? No. Maybe put bikinis for people from like age 15. And yes, ask them, are you 15 or not? And if they click yes, it's their problem. It's not the site's problem anymore. But the advertisement companies, they don't care about that. So social media is pretty much forced.
True. They are like middle ground between getting money and pleasing their audience. True.
Capitalism right now is a bit either you have really like porn commercials and you can do everything, or you have really wholesome, we're all perfect commercials. It's still the picture. I think it's more of a deeper society problem.
Can be.
When it comes to that, it's what we all live under, and that's capitalism. And it's not easy to change that. But the happy family eating Nutella, we all know that's not true. We all know they had sex. We all know that 16-year-old daughter probably has a boyfriend. But in the commercial, they act like they all just spawned in that house, and no one ever, like, they maybe kiss each other on the cheek or something. And
that's too. Oh no.
There needs to be an appropriate portraying of that.
But that's for general public, that's for sure. They got it.
Yeah, that's a problem. Social media, that's what I mean. Social media can't act different.
True.
That's the general public, and the general public decides what is shown. But it's not like we vote for it. I don't even... it's so hard. Who is deciding what here?
Everyone's deciding. That's why there's such a problem on this like avatar stuff on Twitter, because like there's like people talking about like it should not be there. There's also other people they're saying like they should be there because it's not a big... It's not saying it's not a big problem. It's like it's still under like the limits and everything, Actually,
for the people that say it shouldn't be there, what should not be there? Sexuality?
Yes, actually, no. Actually, I was talking to my friend, and then we were just talking about this, and then we found out that the people who care about this or kind of rejecting this or whatever is kind of like in the streaming business or whatever. So they're like two different places now. They are like VRChat, and then they are like, let's say Twitch, Twitch streaming like TOS, like and then there's like Tweet TOS and then VRChat TOS. So maybe this thing is like okay on VRChat because it's under the term of use, but maybe streaming this on the public on Twitch is against the term of use of Twitch because you're not supposed to show nudity or whatever.
Yeah, then don't do it. Get another job.
So this actually,
like, I would never get a job on the. No, I would never get a job on the internet. These people, people.
Yeah, I get you. But no, actually, this actually brings the fucking topic back that we just said. So
yeah.
So like, if VRChat public word is like real life public, and private lobby is like your house. So is it appropriated to stream when you are in someone else's house? Or is this should be like treated all equally, like like VRChat is supposed to be like a public place and there shouldn't be like nudity because it's VRChat or whatever the streamer's saying.
So there's 2 points here.
Yeah, it's getting complicated.
There's 2 points here. First of all, would you stream with the intention of getting money from it? That's on you, my friend. If your opinion is driven by how you earn money, I don't think that's a good opinion. You do your job, but your job stops where the life of others begins, and you can't discriminate someone because of your job. You can't say, hey, buy more because I get money then. I mean, that's what Germany doing right now. They're like, oh, Corona, buy a lot, and the Germans buy a lot. You think Germany does that because they care? No, they want money. And then there's the second thing that comes from a German view now that might surprise you as an American person.
I'm not American, Jesus.
And that is no, but you live there. You live the culture there.
Whatever.
So and that is filming in someone's house. For me, like in real life, big no-go. Like if you're
that's totally no-go, of course. Like that's...
if you're with if you're with a group under 5 people and they're not more than 5 people in shot, it's illegal to upload it. You can't take a photo without permission, and you can't upload it without permission. But like, I see all these dash cam videos of like people filming, or like people even filming with their phone and are like, hey, you just run into my car, and then they fight and it's on YouTube. And I'm like, that's highly illegal in Germany. You cannot film someone. You don't have the right of my face or my body and my image. You don't have the right to record anything from me. And on court, this material does not count.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a clear ask everyone if they want it to be public. A lot of times I have caught people streaming. I didn't even know they were streaming. What if I say something really private?
True. There's like a.
But I'm not in a. So even if I'm in a public world, and let's say public world can mean a VRChat or maybe a bar. Sure, I can speak of my problems, but I have the right to be forgotten. That's actually right in Germany. The right to be forgotten is you say things, right? And after a certain time or a certain punishment for like really bad things you have done, you have the right for it to be removed from your like card that everyone sees, like what crimes you have done and everything. They just disappear after a certain period of time because we're allowed to change. And on the internet and in the bar, it's the same. I say things, but I don't want to be reminded on that the day after. Of course, my friends can tell me, but I don't want people on the publishing it because maybe I was drunk. I was under an influence. And that's an even bigger problem for me than the whole nudity thing. And if a streamer tells me what to do only because they want to have money, I'm sorry, but who are you to tell me what to do? Like, seriously, do I get something from the money? Do I get something for it? Then maybe. But if I don't get anything in return, I will not change who I am and what avatar I have.
True.
Even though I'm not the biggest fan of these really naked avatars, I think for me, it's just untasteful.
You're totally right. Totally
sexy avatars, but like, if there's only some tape on your parts, then that's a bit boring to me, to be honest. I just don't care for it. I really don't care for all nudity, or like, I don't think it's sexy.
Yeah, no.
It's
more because of the public opinions, but well. Well, anyway, let's.
Yeah, it varies. Obviously, it varies, but.
Yeah, sorry. Continue.
Keep nudity in a private world, I would say, or like, friends plus. See who you surround yourself with, and maybe there should be some guidelines of what is appropriate to wear, like for the avatar, and what is not. Maybe some really kinky stuff is inappropriate. Maybe it's not. Maybe if everything is censored, that's fine. I don't know. That's something I don't even want to decide, because I never thought of that.
Well, now it is a problem.
Yeah.
But no, this. I think it's more because like how people expecting VRChat is, and what VRChat actually is right now.
It's just a bunch of drunk dudes that decide that decide to be a girl now.
No, it's more because like if you go to like public world, that's really a case for like the visitor rank or new players. But public world these days, it's not easy to stay in because I get crushed every single time. With friends, yes. There will be a lot of drinking, whatever. And streaming in a friends plus world that's a problem. Like, it is a problem.
Yeah, maybe they're also. I think the idea of public avatars and non-public avatars is just good. But how do you draw a line there?
You can't.
That's so hard.
You can't. That's the ending of this fucking podcast.
Yes, like 30% of your chest has to be covered. Does that also count for guys? What do we do?
It's weird because like VRChat is like. It's like we're trying to apply the real life logic to a game now. It's weird. It's like, if it's like some other game, you will never talk about it like this. Like, to be honest though, if you talk about
problem is just there's no age restriction. That's so hard.
If we still treat this game as like a game, then yes, age restriction or some avatar, private avatar, whatever, private room, public wars, there should be a restriction of that. If we're talking about VRChat as like a whole, like a new social ground for people,
it's more social media.
That would be so different because there will be no line to be drawn, because there will be any people playing this game. There will be kinky bastard, there will be wholesome people, there will be people who be on the public places, or there will be just a bunch of people to drink in the public places. It's just there, and then you cannot redraw a line because it's just in the society. You can only avoid that rather than to eliminate the thing. You cannot just eliminate the thing, because if we talk about this thing as like a semi-real life things now, you can't. There's no lines behind this. So
then there's also the question, what laws do we even apply to? I know the internet
laws. Why no laws?
No, but I mean the internet in general, all the laws that do get applied, because it was a lawless land, it was an international land for everyone, and that's why there were no laws, because every country has their own laws, and there's a huge difference. Look at China, look at Germany, look at France, look at like Iraq, look at America. We are so different. Age of consent, alcohol, death punishment. Some countries, we vary so much, and that's a problem. Do I go into VRChat and all of a sudden I have to apply to American rules? And would I even be familiar with those? It's for us, the swastika to draw and everything is highly illegal. For my Swedish friend, that was really confusing. We were talking about that, and he's really interested in Second World War, and he likes to collect every kind of like historical stuff. And yes, on some of the uniforms and weapons, there's a swastika. And for me, that was really shocking to see. I said, where did you get that? You couldn't. In Germany, if you portrayed that in public, if you would wear that or something, that would be so illegal. And I don't even mean the patch on the side. I mean like little tiny detail on a belt or something.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's really out of historical interest in his case. But yeah, if you would hang that in your window, that would be illegal because other people could see it. At least I think.
Oh shit! Sorry.
It's okay. So that's my question. What is VRChat? Like, what would we want VRChat to apply to? We can't just. That's a problem with social media too, and I feel like the closest to VRChat is social media. People talking and having debates about women's right, men's right, like feminism and nationalism, racism, but we don't state where we come from. Where do we come from? That's important. If someone tells me women are so oppressed, I, as a German, can say, for me, that's not true with the major things. Sure, there's some social standards still that I don't like, but they are also for men. Like men are completely different in their emotional world, biologically, but also socially. That's also oppression. But if the person in front of me comes from a country where they don't have a lot of women's rights, and I don't know that would be really unfair for me to say. I can't say, oh, of course women have rights. In some countries, that's just not the case. And in some countries, you don't want to think about men's rights yet, because I would say in Germany, men's rights are luxury. We're on a really good base. We both have our problems, but no one gets killed or anything. But in other countries, women get raped and they can't do anything against it. They are to blame. And so you want to focus on women, and in that case I would forget about some men's rights in that case, because there's a woman getting harmed or only woman getting major harmed. But in Germany I focus on both. It's from country to country, and that's why I don't. How would you make a rule?
We're getting bored here.
No, how would you make rules even for nudity? Because Americans are thinking like already Americans, and I feel like you guys are similar to Europeans, but you guys are so different with violence and nudity, and we are.
Well,
how would you have rules? It's an international place. I don't want to give up my rights. You don't want to give up your rights, but then there can only be some major law.
True.
Like hate speech, I think in almost every country is illegal, probably.
Yeah.
Like in every developed country.
Yeah. No, it is. It should be anyway. But, well, that being said, then we talk about this in like an international sense now. But no.
Yeah, and that's where it's getting hard.
Wrap it up. Jesus Christ.
Yes, sorry.
We're getting a lot of different like aspect here. Can't believe we're going from like a little VRChat problem to like a fucking international problem here. It's not saying like it's bad. I'm just saying like it's really surprising how how this little thing can just draw like a big problem here.
It's a commercial problem, and that's where it gets big.
I would say it's not a commercial problem. It's just how we treat this, like how people treat this, how different place people treat this, how internet people and non-internet people treat this.
You should always know where your opinion comes from, and that's for every topic.
True.
You shouldn't have an opinion just because you want to be bothered or you want to get money out of it, and that's it. You yourself have to know. Do you really mean what you're saying there?
All right.
Oh, for real.
I know kiwi. Well, should stop this. before this become like a 2-3 hours like interview, or
I think already is.
yes. No, actually, I'm trying to keep it under like 1 hour. It is right on 1 hour actually, so we are right on time. Well,
that's really good. I think we said a lot, and
it's a good thing after all. It's a good thing. I mean, opinions like that's what I'm saying. Like solo podcasts would be boring as fuck, and if someone is talking to me, then that would be great. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks for asking. No, I gotta take you to more pockets later on if I got like any topic to talk about. Yeah, just for fun, just for fun.